This is Richard Obert of the Arizona Republic over here at Chaparral High School, getting ready for Week 10, game of the week between Chaparral and Pinnacle. You got two of the state's top quarterbacks going at each other. Ohio State against Michigan with Jack Miller for Chaparral, and then you've got J.D. Johnson of Pinnacle. Both those guys are going to be heading to the Big Ten after this year, and it should be a great shootout. Two really good offenses. Chaparral's about as healthy as they've ever been this year. They got Tommy Christakos, great chemistry between Jack Miller and Tommy Christakos, so expect a good hook up there between those guys. And on Pinnacle, you've got J.D. Johnson throwing to Marcus Libman, one of the more dynamic, shifty slot receivers in the state. In second game, Hamilton at Perry. This is a big game in the Premier Region 6A. This is going to be big for open division points, especially for Perry, who's right now sitting about 14-15. They need to get this win, maybe to shoot up. Who knows, maybe make a run to the top 8. Hamilton is sitting at number 7. They're led by Brennan Rice, wide receiver, recently committed to Colorado. They've got a pretty balanced running back by committee offense. And Perry, of course, one of the best quarterbacks there is in the country, with Chuba Purdy, who can run and pass, and he's been turning it on in the last few weeks of the season, especially with his receivers coming together, and those guys have really meshed. Another game is Round Valley at Thatcher. This is these two teams met last year in a 2A state championship game, with Thatcher coming out on top. Thatcher's been banged up this year. They lost Bretton Dodge, one of their top running backs. He's been out, and they've lost 3 games, which is uncharacteristic for Thatcher, but they've all been close games. Round Valley's on a roll. They've won 4 games in a row. They're at 5-2, and they're looking to try to get revenge against Thatcher. They're led by dual threat quarterback Taven Bevel. And then another game we're looking at is Campo Verde at Williamsfield. Campo Verde fell out of the Open 8 after losing their first game of the season to Higley, 52-30 last week. Williamsfield has won 6 in a row. They're on a roll. They're basically on a roll and trying to get into that Open 8. And they've got one of the more dynamic quarterbacks in Mason Bugg. Cannondale or Campo Verde is going to be relying, probably they'd like to spread it out, but they like to run the ball too in the spread offense, with Caden Calloway getting most of the yardage. He's over 1,000 yards rushing. And then our fifth game, our number 5 game, is Glendale at Apache Junction. Last year it was a shootout, with Apache Junction prevailing 53-52 behind quarterback Gibson Limongello. He's back. He had over 100 yards passing, 100 yards receiving, or 100 yards passing, 100 yards rushing last year against Glendale. Glendale's led by Kevin Daniels, one of the better running backs in the state. He's just a workhorse, and they've got a really good quarterback in Rocco Bruni. This should be a great game for a region championship in the 4A. The winner of that is an automatic state playoff berth. Reporting from Chaparral High School, Richard Obert, Arizona Republic.